Hey brothers, you're listening to Home Bar Happy Hour. We are back with Classic Monster Movie Week. This week we'll be talking about those bloodsuckers, most importantly, the king of them, Count Dracula. We're going to be talking about him, we're going to be talking about hot dogs, and by God, we're going to be talking about the creatures we fear the most. It's Halloween, brothers. Let's roll, America.
All right, yeah, let's roll indeed. Thank you guys, everyone, for stopping by, hanging out at Happy Hour. Make sure, please do the like, the subscribe, leave a review on your podcast service of choice. That helps us out a lot. Might start reading off some good reviews if we that we get. I think that might be a fun thing. Shout out some of y'all because we appreciate you. But let's just jump right into it, Mike. Vampire Week, Mr. Dracula. How's it going? How do you feel about vampires and Dracula and the Eagles sucking all of the blood and soul away from the fans of Philadelphia?
Not just the fans, but the fans' wallets.
Yeah.
Yeah, the vampire, the bloodsuckers. They're just sucking from our wallets. But
they're killing us, man.
Yeah, dude, they need to figure their shit out, man. I have no, and like more importantly, Nick Sirianni. I think he's having a mental breakdown, but
he's losing it.
I just lost like all expectations for this. I mean, it's sad because we're so talented, but I just have no expectations for this team at the moment. So
yeah, I mean,
like,
I should have ran it up on Sunday, and to like barely squeak out a win is like, I mean, disappointing is an understatement. You know what I mean? Like that should have been coming off a bye week, like coming back. It should have been like lights out.
Yeah, dominant performance based on the amount of talent that we have on that team, and everybody was healthy. Now we're without Jordan Mailata for a few weeks. Who else? Somebody else went. Well, some of the other guys just got out, but like Slay, like he went out. I have no idea what was all about that, but I mean, Ringo came in there and laid a lick, dude. Some of these kids like Ringo and Mitchell and even Coop came in, man, dude. Like Coop and Mitchell are going to be core. They're going to be awesome in our secondary.
Okay.
But Josh Huff had it quietly improved. I see that he was in his 4-point stance rather than standing up. So that's where he succeeds more because he's more of a 4-3 defensive end pass rusher than he is in an outside linebacker in a 3-4.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, hey, I'm just sitting back and just watching, like, just letting it all unfold and just, like, shaking my fucking head and just be like, whatever. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's weird. Like last season was so weird because we were doing so well from a, win percentage, but like each game looked kind of bad. And it's like kind of the same. Yeah. It feels like it's like catching up to us. Like
it's the same script. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Nothing has really changed. We're over here trusting the process and still trusting.
But outside of that, let's jump into these gulag locks to start the show off, Joe.
Yeah.
Last week I did a pretty good on the spread. I ended up coming away with 10 wins, so I'm back in the column, brothers.
Nice.
So, but as I said, I'm just doing the money line. So I'm doing we got the Broncos at the Saints. I'm gonna go with the Saints. The Patriots at the Jaguars. I'm going with the Patriots. Man, the Jaguars are just playing like dog shit. But that's in England, so yeah. I don't know. I maybe the Jags. Maybe I'll take the Jags on that one. I'll take the Jags. We got the Seahawks and Falcons. I think I'm going to take the Seahawks. Yeah, I'm going to take the Seahawks. Titans and Bills. Taking the Bills. Bengals and Browns. Bengals. Packers and Texans. That's going to be a good game. Sunday at 1. That should be a primetime game.
Yeah.
I'm going with the home team. I'm going to go with the Packers. Got the Dolphins at Colts. That's another one. I'm thinking I'm going to go with the Colts. Lions and Vikings. Lions. Birds at Giants. Oh, God. I guess I'm taking the Eagles. Yeah. Raiders at Rams. Rams. Panthers at Commanders. Commanders. Chiefs at 49ers. Oof, that's a 4-3. That's another one, too. Damn. I'm going to go with the 49ers. Jets at Steelers. Oof. Dude, they just got Devontae Adams today.
Yeah, I saw that. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yep.
Back with Aaron Rodgers. Be crazy.
That's a Sunday night football game. I'd hate to go against the Steelers, but I think the Jets are going to pull this one out.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's a safe bet.
Yeah. Plus, like the Steelers went with they're starting Russell Wilson this week.
Oh, did not know that.
Yeah. Ravens at Bucks Monday Night Football. Oof. I think I'm going to go with the Ravens. Chargers at Cardinals. Cardinals. And those are the locks, ladies and gentlemen.
Lock them in. Stone cold gulag locks.
But what do you got going on this weekend? I got the annual wiener roast this weekend. I do have a nice fire out there. Get all you can eat hot dogs. Do a pot of chili. Blow up the big screen and put on some classic monster movies, some horror movies for Halloween. Get into the season.
Yeah, roast some weenies up. What flicks are you going to be playing? You got it figured out? Got the lineup figured out?
I typically start off with like more of a kid-friendly type of Halloween film, more like probably like Monster Squad or like a black and white one.
Sure.
Probably black and white. It's more. Yeah, that's typically what I like to do. Is like something that's like not as scary. Maybe Monster Squad is kind of scary for like a really young crowd.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely start off with a little bit of not too much stuff, but then I switch it up and you got to throw on a slasher movie, and then I don't know. I just kind of go with what the crowd wants, what everybody wants to watch.
Okay. So it's not a set lineup. It's malleable. Have you seen the new? It's not Monster Squad, but Monster Summer. Did you see that one?
No, I did not.
No, not bad. It was okay.
Yeah.
Little odd. Technically, it wasn't a super sound movie. There was some flub lines that were left in there, and it was weird. But not terrible. Not as good as Monster Squad, but something.
Let's go over some of the vampire Dracula movies.
Yeah.
Do you have any out there that rings a bell? I know we were talking about Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah, so Bram Stoker's Dracula, I think, is the best, right? I mean, you got Francis Ford Coppola making a movie. Francis Ford Coppola is kind of like the Rex Grossman of filmmakers. I mean, he makes some absolutely incredible films, right? Godfather, Apocalypse Now, Godfather Part 2. And then he makes just some stinkers, Megalopolis and Jack, that weird musical he did. He's kind of all over the place, but Bram Stoker's Dracula is just such a great retelling of the classic tale, done in a really good manner. So that's probably up there. That's one of my favorite, specifically Dracula movies. I did really like this isn't Dracula himself, but I liked the new Salem's Lot, and I liked that story. Yeah. I like the idea of making vampires scary again. There's a lot of, I probably started with the Twilights, right? The Twilight, the vampire books. Yeah. And then it was True Blood and Vampire Diaries and all that stuff where vampires were just sexy and not scary at all. But there was a new one that came out, I think it was earlier this year, Abigail. And Dracula's in it for a very little bit at the end. But I really liked that movie. I thought that was really good and really fun. Those are probably my top 4 or 5 Dracula vampire movies. If we're gonna rank them, what about you, Mike? What are your top vampire Dracula flicks.
I definitely agree with you with the Bram Stoker's Dracula. That one, that was,
Yeah.
I really like that. The original Dracula with Bela Lugosi is definitely my second.
Okay.
And then, like you you gave us some. I mean, you can't leave out the last voyage of the Demeter. That I thought was an underrated film.
Yeah. I haven't got a chance to see that one yet. I think that's on something like Paramount or something.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll check that out.
I'm trying to figure out, like, we have the Nosferatu coming up. I mean, that's not Dracula, but that was like the original, the original Nosferatu. I mean, you have Blade because Blade Trinity. He played, he battles Dracula.
Yeah.
You got outside of like Dracula, you got these other vampire movies like The Lost Boys. Great. Even I didn't mind the reboot either. I thought the reboot was pretty good too.
Yeah, Lost Boys rules. That movie is absolutely sick.
Bordello of Blood, just a bunch of hoochie mamas. Hoochie mama! Like, his vampires luring in just red-blooded American men,
Yeah.
Just once they got you, then they sink their teeth into you.
They sure do.
And then, we were going over Midnight Mass. That I thought was a really good Netflix series.
So that's Netflix show, right?
Yes.
I have not seen that one. I need to check that out for sure.
Yeah, you definitely need to check it out, dude. It's off of the. I'm pretty sure it's from the director, the people who developed the Haunting of the Bly Manor and Hill House.
Yeah, so I thought it was kind of like that. I didn't know there were vampires in that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it's. Yeah, I mean, it's been out for a while, so I didn't want to ruin it for you, but yeah.
Okay.
Also, the newest one with Luke Evans, he plays Dracula, and it's with Charles Dance.
Okay.
And that, I didn't mind it, but it was a pretty good movie. I thought it was I didn't think it was that bad of a movie, but I didn't like some of the plot twists and stuff like that. But overall, I didn't really mind the movie. I don't understand why it bombed so bad.
Yeah.
But and then of course the 90s, the 80s, 90s pop culture type of thing with Monster Squad, as Dracula's the main antagonist in that one.
Yeah, he's controlling everyone. I would be remiss if I didn't bring up one flick, Mike. I don't know if you've ever seen this, From Dusk Till Dawn. Did you ever see that movie?
Yep. I knew I forgot one.
That movie is grade A cinema. I saw that at the very perfect moment. I was, probably 15 or 16, and I was super into Quentin Tarantino, and I knew he was in this movie, and that's all I knew about it. And the first half of that movie is such a straight, two escaped convict brothers. It's Quentin and George Clooney on the run. They take this, kind of preacher that's lost his faith, played by Harvey Keitel, and his kids, take them hostage, and they end up across the border in Mexico at the Dusk Till Dawn saloon. And then from there, it just totally turns gears and turns into a different movie, and it's absolutely incredible.
That's
what a
kind
great
of how Tales from the Crypt, the Bordello of Blood, kind of. I mean, it wasn't similar. It wasn't. I mean, it was just based on. It was a bunch of dudes going in there for some chicks.
Yeah,
and the chicks are all vampires.
Yep, that'll happen to you sometimes. You never see from them again.
I tell you, probably the scariest vampire / Dracula movie, if you want to call it, probably is The Lost Boys.
You think The Lost Boys is the scariest?
I think so, man. It's I'd have to go through Salem's Lot. The only thing that I found eerie in that were the kids and shit just floating outside the fucking window, waiting to get invited into the fucking house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't
Like
invite him
scratch
in.
on the window, like, hey, hey boy, let me in.
Speaking of Dracula, did you see the Renfield movie with Nicolas Cage playing Dracula?
Yeah, I thought
Not
right
a
out of the
fan.
gate. Yeah, right out of the gate, I thought it was pretty cool that like they mixed Nicolas Cage's face over Bela Lugosi's,
Yeah.
and I thought that was pretty cool. But after that, like I'm like, I didn't really care for it.
Okay. It was very violent. It was pretty insane. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty funny, like interesting take on both of those characters. Renfield's got to be a tough gig. You know what I mean? Just being a personal slave to an undead Dracula.
Honestly, that was probably the only character that I did not enjoy out of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Is Renfield?
Yeah, Renfield. It
Yeah.
was like it definitely had like that '90s type of vibe, like the Joel Schumacher type of.
Sure,
you know,
right.
Is that a good
Yeah,
pull?
yeah. The Batman Forever
Yeah,
and Face
like,
Off. Yeah.
And he's like, Master. I know because that's all he is. It's like he's like eating a fucking bug. He's like, thank you. And then he just goes like that. And then he's just like he's flailing his fucking arms and shit. Like, I know like Renfield is supposed to have helped Dracula from. I thought that's what it was, where he was supposed to. And, I don't know. I have to recap through the book again, but I was pretty sure that Renfield was supposed to aid Dracula from going from Transylvania to England on a Demeter.
Yeah,
But,
I think that's his job.
Yeah, I could be wrong though, but let's get into some facts here. So,
Yeah.
Dracula may have been inspired by a nightmare. Now it says may. I believe that. When was this article made? Because the other one. Yeah. So it was supposed to be from inspired by a nightmare by Bram Stoker. So it's as was apparently common among the Victorian Gothic fiction. Dracula supposedly came from a nightmare, one possibly caused by bad seafood.
Oh.
According to biographer Harry Ludlum, Stoker said he was compelled to pen the tale dreaming of a vampire king rising from the tomb, following a helping of dressed crab at supper. While the fare might not have actually had anything to do with what he dreamt that night, Stoker's private working notes show him revisiting the frightening vision. In March of 1890, he wrote, "Young man goes out, sees girls, one tries to kiss him, not on the lips, but the throat. Old Count interferes, rage and fury diabolical." So these are like his notes that he wrote down.
Yeah.
This man belongs to me, I want him. Whether this is the actual nightmare or the beginning of the Jonathan Harker story is unclear, but Stoker returned to the dream repeatedly while writing the book.
That's interesting. A lot of books kind of come from dreams, right? I think that Stephen King, a lot of his books started out as dreams, so makes a lot of sense.
Fact number 2, vampires share a history with Frankenstein. In 1816, on a gloomy day in Lake Geneva, Lord Byron, who was the father of Henry and Victor Frankenstein, proposed a ghost story contest. Oh, and this is actually in the Mary Shelley's book and in the Bride of Frankenstein and in the Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with Robert De Niro that we spoke about last week.
Right.
They all talk about vampires. So there's a little. I think there was as Mary Shelley was writing it. It also led in a cultivated way to the birth of the vampire by John Polidori, which gave us the modern vampire. Fact number 3: Bram Stoker started writing Dracula right after Jack the Ripper made headlines.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. Stoker began Dracula in 1890, 2 years after Jack the Ripper terrorized London. The lurid atmosphere of these crimes made the lurid atmosphere of these crimes produced made their way into Stoker's novel, which was confirmed in 1901 preface to the Icelandic edition of Dracula. Stocker's reference links the two frightening figures in such a way that raises more questions than provides answers, but no doubt confirms the terrifying real-life influence on the fictional world.
That's interesting. Jack the Ripper was so, he was never caught, obviously, so he could like kind of have been anyone. But testing was so testing and like I guess criminology was so rudimentary back then that there like you could like Jack the Ripper could have been like anyone if he was like walking down the street and was covered in blood and like a cop stopped him, he could have been like, oh, this is pig's blood, I'm a butcher. And there was like no way for the cops to verify if that was actually true. That's how like so he was really going through a time where it was easier to be a serial killer.
Yeah, bro, you know how many innocent people were just burned at the stake, jailed, whatever. Back then, it was all the laws and courts were all based on hearsay.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I'm like, dude, this motherfucker next to me, like, if you piss on my side of the fence, I'm gonna be like, hey, he killed someone. He said you killed him.
Yeah.
I'm innocent. Take him away.
Yeah, public hanging.
Yeah. Number 4, Dracula might be based on Bram Stoker's horrible boss. So, I mean, there's not really too much in there. Stoker was Henry Irving, a renowned Shakespearean actor and owner of the Lyceum Theatre in London. That's who is Henry Irving. That's who Stoker's boss was.
Yeah.
He was Irving's business manager, press agent, and secretary. Like the Hollywood assistant of today, his job started early and ended late, with a lot of ego boosting in between. Some critics suggest that the charismatic Irving was the basis for Dracula.
Interesting.
Now we're going to get into some history, too. Number 5, Vlad the Impaler, a real individual. Vlad the Impaler might have been an influence as well. Some believe that Stoker modeled Dracula in part on Wallachin, Wallachin, Wallachin. It was a territory that is now part of Romania.
Gotcha.
Just to give you an idea. All right, so, but everybody understands. So Vlad Dracula, also known as Vlad the Impaler, who is known for skewering his enemies. Scholars disagree about how much Stoker knew about Vlad, but some insisting that there is no proof he modeled Dracula on the vengeful prince. What we do know from Stoker's working notes is that he read a book titled An Account of the Principles of Wallachia and Moldavia by William Wilkinson. The book mentions a couple of leaders named Dracula, including Vlad the Impaler, and how one of them attacked Turkish troops. Inspired, Stoker changed the vampire's name from Count Vampire to Dracula, copying from the footnote. Yeah, so...
Yeah, Vlad the Impaler was a brutal dude. I mean,
yeah,
he would when said in there he would skewer his victims. I mean, he would literally put them through a stake, butt first, and have them hanging out in front of his castle as a sign not to go trample with that dude.
Yeah, don't be coming around here and fucking with us.
Yeah, that's got to be such an insane sight. People that are, imagine your Amazon package guy coming to deliver something to Vlad the Impaler's house. There's just a dozen dudes on sticks in the front yard.
Yeah, sticks up their asshole, going right up their mouth with their eyeballs popping out.
Yeah, that's going to be a late delivery,
Yeah, late delivery. I'm throwing that motherfucker like Aaron Rodgers throwing Hail Marys.
Oh, man.
Number 6, Stoker never visited Transylvania. There's not too much there to go on, but yep, that's one. Dracula's castle is, as we all know, a real place, but was based on one in Scotland. So the castle that it's based off of is in Scotland, but Vlad the Impaler's castle is a real one, and you can still visit it. And even though it has no connection to Dracula, there's some films where they did use some footage from that castle, but It has literally nothing to do with Dracula. It's just all Vlad the Impaler. But if you go there, they do have, Dracula stuff there. Everybody wants to visit it just because it's got some correlation with the castle through the movies and, the folklore and whatnot.
Yeah.
Number 8, Lucy's death. Well, Lucy's death scene was based on a real exhumation. God damn, these are some of these are big fucking words for my me no speak no good. Let's see, going here. Dracula was almost called the Undead. So, I mean, if you watch any of the Dracula movies, it's all like they refer to the vampires as the undead. Stalker's copyright almost destroyed Nosferatu.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
because they're both very similar movies.
Right.
I mean, they're pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Those are the 10 facts. Here we got 10 facts you'll want to know about Bela Lugosi, a.k.a. Count Dracula. I'm just going to run down here. I'm not going to give too much. Lugosi only played the legendary vampire in 2 movies.
So which were those 2 movies? I saw that. I thought that was interesting. I thought he played him in a bunch because there's like a ton of Dracula movies that were done back then, like 7 or 8. Well,
obviously, he did the original. And he did the original, and then he reprised his role in Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
Oh, interesting.
So those are the only 2 movies that he actually played Dracula.
Huh.
But the other ones were pretty. It looked pretty close. They did a good job, like making them look good. But Bela Lugosi learned to pronounce lines. Jesus Christ, phonetically.
Phonetically.
Phonetically, Bela Lugosi learned to pronounce lines phonetically before he could speak English. Well, I'm trying to pronounce things phonetically too. Me no speak good. Bela Lugosi once partied with Robert Ripley.
Oh, was that the Believe It or Not guy?
Yeah.
Ripley's Believe It or Not. Interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Lugosi was once honorary president of the Los Angeles Soccer League.
Oh.
Bela Lugosi was part of the Hungarian Army's ski patrol in World War I. That's wild.
Yeah, that is wild.
Here's one. He married 5 times over the course of his life. So, it's been good. It's nothing new. Ain't nothing new.
He was a player.
Yeah, I guess he was. Ooh, my lady. Lugosi almost played Frankenstein's monster, too. Remember we talked about that the last one?
Yeah,
he was casting? Bela Lugosi really was buried in a Dracula cape. So when he passed away, I guess they buried him in his Dracula cape. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
But yeah, that's all I got for Dracula, brother. Children of the night, what music they play. I bid you welcome.
Have you ever seen the Johnny Depp movie 1994, Ed Wood? Have you seen that flick, Mike?
No.
So Ed Wood was this real filmmaker. He made some real terrible movies. He made like Plan 9 from Outer Space and some other stuff. But Martin Landau plays Bela Lugosi in that movie. So this was like in the 50s, kind of towards the end of Lugosi's life. And this is all a true story. He was a true filmmaker. The movie, it's a Tim Burton movie. But it's like the true story of Ed Wood's life. The real Ed Wood director was making just these garbage flicks that he couldn't sell to anyone. Like they were so bad, no studio wanted them. But then he became friends with Bela Lugosi, and no one was casting Bela Lugosi in anything. And Ed Wood was like, "Sure, I'll put you in these, real terrible B movies." So that was the only way he was able to like get any of these movies made and marketed, was by attaching, the old Bela Lugosi to it. And like some of the last movies Bela Lugosi ever did were these super weird, out there Ed Wood movies.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, a little bit of old Hollywood for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's one horror movie creature that you'd never ever want to meet in real life?
So there's a lot of them. Most of them probably, but I think like the most, if you're talking like creature, um, the xenomorph alien is
Yeah.
just absolutely horrifying because you know, you saw the new Alien, right?
Mm-hmm.
Romulus.
No,
The
no, 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 no. I didn't see it yet. I'm going to watch it tonight. It just
oh
came out.
yeah, you should see that. But I mean, these things bleed acid. You know, there's not a good way to kill them. But
They're
outside
quick.
of
They're like
yeah,
slinksters.
yeah. Uh, other than that, it would be probably Art the Clown from the Terrifier movies. Just because, like, if you run into Leatherface or Michael Myers or Jason, like, you know, and you can't get away and they kill you, they're just going to kill you. You know what I mean? They're just going to, you know, give you a good whack with an axe or a machete. That Art the Clown dude,
Cut
he's
you in
one.
half. Cut you in half with a chainsaw.
Yeah. But the Terrifier movies, that dude, like, tortures people, you know, like Method Man at the beginning of, the Wu-Tang song. He's like torture motherfuckers.
I
Just
don't know what you
insane.
mean because I refuse to watch those movies. I think they're absolutely foul.
Well, they are foul.
They're
And they
not
are
even
not.
scary. That motherfucker gets shot right on sight. That's
I
how you
don't.
stop that shit.
Yeah.
I would. There's a few of them that come to my mind. Yes, the xenomorph. Dude, Predator. The first Predator when he took the mask off to Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he
Yeah.
said, he's like, "You are the one ugly motherfucker," and he's just like,
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'd shit my pants right there. I'd be like, no fucking way in hell. This fucking thing is enormous. He's gonna fucking gut me like a goddamn pig.
Yeah.
Or like rip out my spine. Pennywise. Yeah, I don't do well with fucking clowns, but Pennywise is different because you can't kill this motherfucker.
Yeah, and he turns into whatever your like worst fear is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not just the clown. It's like whatever you're really scared of, that's what he turns into, which is kind of crazy.
I would have to say, I don't even know, are ghosts even like demons and shit? Is that even like, are they considered creatures? They're just like apparitions. So I don't even like something like the Nun. No fucking way.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to run into any nuns really, but specifically that nun would be a rough one to run into.
That Nun. Yeah, no way in hell, man. I'm like, dude, that is he's terrifying.
Yeah.
Excuse me. What about bears?
Bears. You know I have a thing. I know bears. Yeah. I'm not running into any bears. I stay far away. Bears are real world monsters.
Yeah.
They are monsters that
creature.
roam the earth around us.
Dude,
you know?
Like backcountry, the edge, what else is there? Cocaine bear.
Cocaine, yeah, you definitely don't want to run into that dude.
Even the bear in the new Predator movie, Prey. Man, even the Predator had a little bit of a hard time taking that Kodiak down.
Yeah, they're 1,000-pound, 8-foot monsters. Of course he did.
But man, he punched it right in its fucking head. And yeah, dude, he was like, "All right, you want this? You got it." Ooh, dude, like that I don't know, something from The Ring. Like The Ring.
Oh, the little girl?
Or no, The Grudge. No, The Grudge.
Oh, The Grudge.
Yeah. You know, when they open up the sheets and looking over
Yeah.
there, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And maybe something from like some of those creatures that are from like who directed and produced or whatever like the Labyrinth. So what was that? What was that other movie?
Pan's Labyrinth?
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro.
Like that? Yeah, fuck that, man.
Yeah. You know who else I wouldn't want to run into is Jigsaw from the Saw movies. Just because, like, why are you putting me in like these crazy situations? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not about those.
Yeah, I could foresee something like that because they sneak up on you, they drug in, and they take you, and you gotta fight your way the fuck out.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I watched all of those movies. I think it was last year or the year before. I did like a big article for a website I was working on. And I watched like all of the Saw movies back to back. And it gets so crazy. Like like the first Saw, he's like taking drug addicts that can't get clean and like, giving them a way to redemption. And it's like, okay, this is like kind of grounded. By the sixth movie, it's like, you smoked a cigarette one time. Now, now you have to burn your arm off if you want to live. You were mean to this woman at the grocery store. Now you must like, eat 17 shopping carts if you want to live. You're like, dude, what's going on here? Like, we're really ratcheting up like the sins of these people. Like, just let them live,
Yeah, let them live, man. Dude, 30 Days a Night.
Oh yeah,
that was a good vampire movie.
That was definitely not a good reason to not live in Alaska, just in case there's any vampires up there.
Yeah, no shit. I was like, there was what is it? Not Dream Master, but Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, is that like the hitchhiker, the trucker, or something?
Yeah, like I don't know too much about something like that, but oh, dude, The Exorcist.
Oh yeah, well that's just the devil. You just don't want to run into the devil.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it, dude. I'm like it's like real world shit, like sickos, like serial killers, just violent fucking people. Like, you know what I mean? Like something like Hannibal Lecter, I mean, he's fictional, but, like Charles Manson and all those motherfuckers, like, dude, that's why I care. That's why I have guns. That's, I'm not, no motherfuckers coming in and doing a fucking goddamn ritual on me here at my bar. No fucking way. I got a couple click to say something about that. But outside of that, dude, it's definitely fucking ghosts and like some sort of demonic presence. That shit, it makes my hair stand the fuck up when I have left on my head.
Yeah.
But let's go to another one here. Off the beat here, we're going to go into things you should not say to the judge during sentencing.
Things you should not say to the judge during sentencing. Probably the worst thing would be like, Judge, I promise I probably won't do it again. That would be like you need to be, beg.
It's almost like Maleficent. I like when you beg. Do it again. Dude, here's one. A fine of $42? Isn't that what your mother charges for a blowjob? Boy, man. What else? Do I give you the quarters or do I shove them up your fat ass?
Jeez.
Let's see here. I need a special magnetic mattress, and I'm thin-skinned, and my ego's fragile. What is that? That's not a fucking... What the fuck? Fuck you, Tina. Oh, fuck you, Tina. 9 years. Is it okay if I smile in disbelief at your... Yeah, that's dumb. I told my roommate about the magnetic mattress. What is this shit? This isn't part of this magnetic mattress bullshit.
I don't know what the magnetic mattress is. Is that a thing?
This one, don't forget, I'm a child of God. I don't belong in jail with those people who commit crimes. And 2 pillows. Dumb. I've got a Benjamin with your name on it that is burning a hole in my pants. If you could see my way, wink, wink. Yeah. But I would say, like, something that I wouldn't say to the fucking judge upon sentencing. It all depends on, like, if he's putting, if I'm going away for a long time, well, what the fuck? What's another year? I'd probably be like, what's his name? It's Law Abiding Citizen.
Oh, yeah.
But he's like, I just wrote off a few judicial terms, and you what he said, I just wrote off a couple of judicial terms, and you took it and ran like a bitch in heat. I bet you take it up the ass too. Yeah, other than that, I'd just be like, hey, I fucked up. I'm sorry. That's just all I have. I'm just sorry I fucked up.
Another thing you don't want to say to the judge during sentences, the judge is like, I sentence you to 10 years, but like, 10 years. I'm glad that's the only thing you found out about.
Oh, yeah. Dude, the other one is from Heartbreak Ridge, when he gets drunk and disorderly, and he's like, drunk and disorderly, fighting in public, urinating on a police vehicle. and then he just goes to tell him, he's like, just because there's not a war out there doesn't give you the right to get drunk and start one. Now, I'm taking into consideration your immaculate military record, but this is the last time. $50 fine, next. And then he walks out and he says to the fucking cop, he's like, nice stick for divorce, huh, Reese? He says it to the cop. Oh, it was fucking pretty good. I always loved that movie. How much time we got left here?
We got some time.
Yeah. Words you don't want to hear from your doctor. Sorry, but the surgeon is very new. He still confuses appendix and penis. But I'm sure he'll get it right this time.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
I like this one, but either way, we'll still have to go through the ass.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, here's one for Dracula. I'm gonna have to take your blood now, all of it.
No.
Yeah, blood privileges have been revoked. Where did I leave my pen? I had it right before your procedure, but for the life of me, I can't figure out where it went. Dude, that's just like Jerry. Come on, let's go see them perform surgery on it. And then they go down and like Jerry's like, all right. Let me finish my coffee here. I'll go watch them slice up this fat bastard. And they go down there, and then they're eating. Kramer's eating
the junior mints.
Yeah, the junior mint. He's like, oh, here, take one. Come on, take one. And he's like, I don't want it. He pushes it, and the one flies out of his hand, and it's like right into it goes right into the body, and nobody sees it. And they're all like, oh man, that was hilarious.
Yeah, I'd just leave that there. Do they still do that? Do they still like? I guess they do for like students, right? They'll let students watch, but
yeah, but
you can't just like
glass, and you're not up in the air like it's
not up in the rafters watching like a like a concert.
I know, right? This ain't like fucking the 18th century.
Yeah, I would hate that, man. I couldn't imagine cutting me open, everyone out there watching. Not about that.
Yeah, and it's like cutting you open, and it's just like it's either going to be like open it up, and it's just going to be like something out of like John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah,
like takes your fucking arms, or it's going to be like Clark Griswold cutting open the Christmas turkey.
Yeah,
boy, this guy really let himself go. I think it was like if you were to open up my insides, it would probably be like dark and murky, like fucking engine oil.
Yeah.
What about you, Joe? I bet if they were to open you up, it'd be like a fucking tropical jungle down there, like an oasis, all this peace and tranquility.
Hopefully, I don't know if I'm like super peaceful. It would be mainly coffee, I think. That's
we got some cocoa beans down there. Who's that down there harvesting it? Oh my god, it's an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
Joe's got Oompa Loompas in his insides.
Yeah, this guy's heart rate is at 200 beats per minute because he's been drinking nothing but caffeine for the past 25 years of his life.
Caffeine, nicotine, and booze.
Yeah, that's all this dude does.
Jesus. I was always wondering why these military guys fucking last for like goddamn hundreds of years. Well, we got every injection known to fucking man. It's all experimented on in their ass through the aliens.
Yeah, they're well-oiled machines or something like that.
That's all I got today, brother. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, it was a good one. Thank you guys, everyone, for hanging out at Happy Hour. We will be back next week, continuing on with the monster movie month. What's up next week, Mike?
Wolfman.
Ow! Yep. All right, we'll see you next week.
Yep.